So as we move, we have now online. We have Eva, who is the Public Health Officer, Kajiado North County. So kindly, can you?
You can all hear me?
Yes, Eva.
Okay, fine. As he has said, my name is Eva from Kajiado North Sub-County, a public health officer by profession. I started practicing in 2017, November. And I'm grateful for this chance to speak to the youth. I'm a youth also, though a mother. And I feel it's a good chance to
Yes.
in this situation, the youths are the most affected. In this situation, most of them are the caregivers, they are the providers, and this is the part of the economy that you are holding on, because if not for the youth, I don't know where next we will go. And as we know, in our country currently, most of our youths are jobless. So at this time, we need to get to know, as we are responding to COVID, even from the health sector, from the entrepreneurial sector, how safe are we? Are our friends safe? Are we ourselves safe? And what can we do to contribute to our safety, to their safety, the safety of our parents? Because at the end of the day, you being healthy wherever you'll be in your hustle will matter. What if we take COVID positively? We stop stigmatizing each other about it and take it positive. See the strengths and the things that we can do during this time, even as you're at home, even when you're locked down. Try see opportunities, like he said, there are very many opportunities, maybe online, maybe you can exercise your CBC skills. I'm so sure most of the youths right now, from 35 years to around 28 years, most of them experienced the CBC system during our time. There are those people who can draw and they don't know that art is theirs. There are those people who can do crocheting, they don't know that is their part. So can we try utilize what is available as much as we keep safe? Also, I feel when you are a youth, you are responsible not only for your parent, your sister, your brother, but also for the next person who's around you. Because we need to be cautious, and we are the only people who can make the community cautious. This is by making sure, if you are told to wear the mask, are we practicing it practically? Ama, is it just something that is just happening? We want to see others wear mask. Me, basically, I'm worried by this. Sometimes when you're walking on the streets, the old have their mask on, but the youths don't even care. We are not even looking at that like an issue. People are thinking that this disease is just affecting the old and people who are compromised, but currently I'm in an isolation center. That's where I'm working in Ole Kasasi. Where Mushiri, the admin, is the head, and it is not an easy situation. Let me tell you, it is not easy. It is challenging to each and everybody. As much as you can get trained to be covered, to have everything, but it is still challenging. Remember, we've left our families back at home. And when we've left them back at home, are they also keeping safe? As much as I'll struggle to keep safe for them, are they keeping safe? So even as you go out for that hustle, make sure whoever you left at home is keeping safe. You can go out, keep safe, but when you're back, the people you left messed up. So we need to have this from inside our hearts to care for our parents, especially those who are sickly, their immunity is compromised. We need to know how to protect ourselves. Even if you don't have a sanitizer, kindly, nowadays water and soap is free, I believe, to all premises, even if you're not buying anything. If you feel you're not safe, just walk to a supermarket door, wash your hands with soap and water, proceed to your other businesses. That will make us feel a bit better safe. Some people are getting challenged because of sanitizing, washing their hands. I would encourage everybody to wash their hands with soap. That is the best method. The other thing is How responsible are we in terms of this? I'll speak this one. As youth, especially men, as Susan has said, when before a lady becomes a single lady, there was a part of men that formed that. So men, how responsible are we? You're home right now with your girlfriends, with your sisters, with everybody. But as you go out to make it out with your girl, how responsible are you? Do you want her to become a mother because you're not ready to become a father? So with this, if you're not ready to become a father, kindly, can you walk up to any public health office near you, to any health facility? There are free condoms. Kindly keep safe, not only from pregnancy. Nowadays, we seem to fear pregnancy more than HIV. We fear pregnancy more than STDs. We fear pregnancy more than anything. But at the end of the day, it is our health that matters. So also for young men, and as much as also young ladies, you're involved in this, walk, go somewhere that you can get help. That will help us do. Then I have an issue on what best can we do? For now, I would say what best we can do for those who are in the chance of taking advantage of the situation. If it is the current business like selling of masks, try research, as you said. If you're online, if you're not, try share with your friends the message that you can get. We have things like those masks. We have a company in Rongai called Soed. They are dealing with disposable masks, 25 bob per piece, but you have to buy more than 1,000 pieces. So you see, if you're youth, you can join each other, help each other achieve these, and you can sell them even at 100 bob, which is an advantage. Also, I was challenged by somebody at my workplace currently. She's doing crocheting, and she gifted me this one, if you can all see. It's a warm cape to wear, which is a very good thing. That's a business. Who knows about it? You're seated in the house, you can do crocheting. I know the yarn is around 70 bob, the crochet is around 30 bob. That's 100, and you can start earning a living by that. We can also utilize something, soap making. We are all buying chemicals to make soaps at home, and it is easy. You can try that one. If you sell 3 liters maybe per day to your next door neighbor and plot, that can also help us at least put food on the table. Also, we can try for those who are not in the town setup, maybe, especially in Kajiado North, Kajiado West. Most of our youths are somewhere where we have lands. Currently, we have rains. You can involve yourself in small farming. It can help us a bit. That would be better. So,
so continue, go on.
Yeah, I'm almost done.
Yeah.
My last bit was about counseling and how we can keep busy with all these activities to avoid psychological torture. I know it is not easy staying home with your parents, with your siblings. Some of us feel so grown, we are not ready to share the amenities we have at home. But I believe these are time, if we take it positively, we can make the best out of it. So if you are a youth, you're depressed, you have something, you can stretch your hand to the nearest facility. I'm sure there is a counselor, and currently the county has done that. It's providing counselors in almost all facilities to provide with that. Not only to us, even our parents, we can advise them to go for counseling in case they are not able to handle the situation at home. And remind you the last thing, that drugs are not the best at this time. What is best is to keep sober so that we can have a sober country, a sober community, and a sober youth for a better tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Eva. I have 3 questions for you. Please don't worry. I'll ask you.
Okay.
Yeah, just in a moment. I'm asking you the
Okay, no problem.
Thank you. As we move, that was Eva, who is the public health officer, Kajiado County.
Eva?
You're able to hear me?
Yeah, so it's your turn to get questions, please, and I'll start by asking you just 2 questions, and then we give a chance to our audience to ask you questions too.
Kindly do.
Yeah, so my first question is, you are in Olekasasi
Yes.
Social Center. So maybe, you know, youths are evidence-driven. This is an evidence-driven population.
Yeah.
Can you share with us figures? Do you have numbers of youths that are in quarantine? I mean, are in isolation? the youth
Okay.
from Kajiado County of Kajiado North.
Yeah.
Of the youths that we have in the center, in the isolation center, and how they are doing, how they are faring on.
Yeah.
And then from the same, do we have deaths? Do we have any number of deaths of youths that have died from COVID?
Okay.
Yeah, maybe you can share that with us. Then number 2 is about reproductive health. We understand that now the young women, adolescent girls and young women and women in reproductive age have a challenge in accessing contraceptives. So this means we are going to have many unplanned pregnancies out of this situation. So as a public health officer from your office, just to make sure that the services are not stopped, what are you doing as an office to see that we still have young women, adolescent girls, and women in reproductive age access contraceptives? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Maybe I can start by answering that. Everybody is hearing me?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, regarding the youths being affected, how many we have in the isolation centers and in our respective quarantine centers, this one I can assure you, I might not be able to give the right numbers, but like an example, when we had Kibit, so unfortunately we closed it down like a week ago, we had a number of youths who were caught in Rongai at the wrong hour and doing the wrong things, and they were taken to quarantine. I'm sure if those youths, if we have maybe any in our forum, he can be able to tell how frustrating it was to have been quarantined and you didn't expect it. You know, most people have not experienced these 14 days away from your family, away from your friends, away from anybody, and you're all alone. It is not an easy time. And in most cases, we are finding youths are the ones who are going to quarantine because an old man couldn't be able to run out of KMTC wall and get away. Unless that person might have been, maybe if the years were so much, is around 40 to 25, between that age. So our youths are the majority affected. Like in our situation where we are now, we have like 3 admissions maybe, and 2 are youths. So it is not any, though they are suspects, but it is not any special to youths. You know, youths are thinking, oh, we are young, this disease is just catching up with the people who are old age and they have contraindications. No, it is not that. It is a real situation. In regards to death, among the deaths we have, like the president said, we have youths, we have children. So it is not, this COVID is not a disease for the old, neither is it a disease for the sickly, but it is a disease for everyone. So not unless all of us are ready for this, we're gonna get a very rough time to deal with it. On reproductive health, basically I feel this should not affect the community because like you see in Rongai now, we have Saitoti Health Center and we have Olekasasi. Olekasasi is an isolation center. So basically the only services being provided here are for the suspects. But Ongata Rongai is running as usual, just like a normal hospital. It's all activities are the same. Some people might get challenged in Gong, but Ololua is running as usual. So people should just have alternatives. It's better to go far for the service than to ignore and then live with the repercussions. Yes.
Thank you. So will we have any other question, comment for Eva? Jacqueline? Jacqueline Saleyan?
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Jacqueline Saleyan Dorcas. I'm from Ngong. I'm the Ajira Digital Youth Empowerment Center Manager. My question to Eva is, there's the confusion on what to do when it comes to an emergency past the curfew hours. For example, if a mother goes into labor and they have to deliver like I asked before, if there's a bipolar situation and the trigger is happening, are people allowed to go out in such instances, or are there steps that you should take for you when you're perceiving such a situation for you to be able to get help?
Eva, did you get the question?
Him, I deal with him for transport. Okay, then, thanks.
Eva?
Sorry.
Eva, did you get from?
Yes, I did.
Yes, please.
Okay, I've gotten her question, and I would like to address it in a simple manner.
Okay.
You can
Yes,
get me?
Yeah.
Okay. This issue of having emergencies at night, it's past curfew hours, it's all understandable to everybody, including the enforcement officers and our policemen outside there. So regarding this, what we've been advised to tell our members of the community, sorry, I didn't disclose this with the youth, we need to know who can help us at what time of the need. It's right now that we need to know our mzee wa mtaa, wazee wa nyumba kumi, because he's the person who can give you pass to your nearest roadblock or to your nearest place. Again, when we have a sick person, there is no problem. You just move outside. It's a genuine case as long as you don't overdo. Observe the rules. If you're going by a private car, be 3 in your car, you'll go to where you're going and make sure there are people back at home who can take the information and you can keep communicating. And on every barrier you find or on every stoppage, kindly stop. The first people you'll get will be able to address your issue, and if it is a referral case, you have to go maybe all the way from Ngong to Kenyatta, they'll do you a letter and stamp, and that will be your letter to travel with all the way to Kenyatta, and nobody will disturb you. Regarding the rest on maybe I've found many people suffering. You have a barrier maybe at Ushago, you're in town, you can't go. It is a big process, but it's wanting because sometimes we need it. You'll go to your area chief, report the case, and then he'll advise you accordingly. After all the letters are sent, you'll be sent to this isolation center. We'll get to examine you and see if you're fit for traveling, and we will stamp your letter, and you can now continue with your journey.